Hey amigos, it's me, Ignacio Lopez, with another episode of Comedy Sheep's Side Gig. This week I'm talking to Mark Nelson, super funny Scottish comedian I've known for a number of years. We've had very good drinking sessions after a few gigs together. We discuss terrible jobs in customer service, horrible Christmas gigs, doing the Edinburgh Fringe, and losing our shit on public transport when we have no signal. Let's do it. Okay, great. So, yeah, how was the rest of last night, man? What was the...
It was good, yeah. It was good. It's you forget how big a room it is.
Yeah.
Because, like, what was it, like 130 in last night?
Yeah.
And
Which
any
is
other...
super quiet for that room.
Yeah.
But surprisingly amazing for a Thursday.
Any other Thursday night room, you'd be like, my God, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But when it's an aircraft hangar, you go.
Yeah, this is Cardiff Glee we're talking about, by
Yeah.
the way. But so first question I ask everyone, who the fuck are you? And what do you do?
My name is Mark Nelson,
Yes.
and I am a stand-up comedian.
Great.
Yeah.
You're also the first Scottish person we've had on the pod. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, so we've had a few. Everyone's been Welsh because we're recording in
I don't know if
Wales.
that's a good thing or it's just sheer racism from you.
Yeah, we've been saying. I mean, you say that, Mark, but like, you rocked up. We're like, what would you like to drink? Do you want a coffee? And immediately like, can I take a lager as well, please?
Yeah,
It is 7 a.m.
There's very, very few weekends I get away now where I'm not either, because I've got like a cut-off point in the country where I can drive back up to Glasgow.
Sure.
And Cardiff is not one of those places where I can get back. So I go, right, I'm away from the kids for a weekend. I am going to enjoy myself.
Yeah,
as
it is
well.
lunchtime as well, by the way. I'm not saying it's not crack of dawn or anything.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
I'm
That's
also
fine.
I'm hiding it because I was so ashamed, but
Yeah.
now you fucking mentioned it.
Yeah. No, I had to bring it up. I've also gone for a lager, but I am driving now, which I'm talking about predominantly in my new material. So it is 0%, which sucks. But
How you finding driving?
it's I'm finding it fine. I'm finding it super frustrating because I used to get so much done on public transport, but it's just not feasible anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm driving for the finances.
It's very hard to take notes when you're driving on the motorway.
Yeah, and edit videos, man. I've
Although,
caused so many accidents.
I bet within a couple of years there'll be some AI thing where you can just give it voice instructions while you're driving.
I mean, you
And
pretty
it would
much
do-
can now.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not for video editing, but I do so much asking Siri to just do shit as I'm driving.
Yeah.
So that's been one saving grace of having a smartphone now is, I hate AI, but I like talking to my phone and telling it to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or the second question I ask is, how would you, so you're a stand-up comedian, how would you describe that to a 5-year-old?
I think it's a pretty... Basically, I mean, the kind of way I would describe it to like my kids and their pals is I stand up and tell jokes.
Yeah, great.
That's literally... It is a very simple job to define. It is, I stand up and I try and make people laugh.
Yeah, but we make it complicated.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, it's not a difficult... It's when it's that kind of thing where people come up to you and go, oh, my God, I couldn't do what you do. You could.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not that
It's
difficult.
literally talking. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I think the fear of it. It's one of the things people rank highest. Public speaking as their biggest fears. Most people, which is bizarre to me. We're the freaks.
Yeah, and because we can do it, we do find it very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
And then when you actually speak to someone, you forget how nerve-wracking and terrifying that actually is to people.
Do you ever? People ask me all the time, do you get nervous? And I never really have with stand-up. I mean, I feel obviously I want it to go well and things, but I've never had that sort of, like maybe sweating sort of like nerves I get with other stuff. Driving, completely different.
Right,
When I
yeah.
was learning to drive, that was the most stressful thing for me in the world. Whereas stand-up comedy, I'm like, it's just talking. Like,
I was talking to Sully, who was on last night as well, and because he went on and did fantastic, and then I came off and I was like, that was really, really good, man. And he was like, oh, thanks so much. I was proper nervous, and it never shows on stage.
No.
And then we were talking about it, and I still get incredibly nervous after. I throw up before every single Fringe show.
What?
Yeah.
You throw up before every single Fringe
Yeah.
show? Every day?
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
hell,
horrible.
man.
And it's
I was
not-
about to say, you're looking in great shape, man. Just straight after the Fringe.
I'm bulimic now, which is, if anyone ever wants a diet tip.
What do you think that comes from? Like, what do you think
It's-
that pit of fear comes from?
I think it is I think it's all in my own head, definitely. Because if you try and talk yourself, but comedians don't think rationally ever. And if we did, then we probably wouldn't be good at our job, because what we need to do is find ordinary day things that people would just look at face value, and we need to find a different way to describe it or to talk about it.
Yeah.
So the rationality is, I mean, you could probably forgive it at the start because it's a new show. You're not used to it yet. It's not bedded in. You're still unsure. You're still changing bits. When it comes to like the 25th night, and it's gone well every night, you should be going, right, you know how to do this. Yeah. But still, my brain won't allow me to, and I think it's a self-conscious, and it's a lack of self-confidence thing. Okay. That's what it is, and it's not. And it's literally like I don't have anything. It's a horrible thing to talk about, but I don't have anything in my stomach, so it is just dry heaving. Oh no! But it's almost like a kind of a placebo effect. Okay. That I now have to do.
It's like you've expelled whatever it is that was kind of getting you in that mindset.
Yeah, it's like an ayahuasca retreat without any of the fun parts.
In Edinburgh.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people in Edinburgh. I'm pretty sure they're on ayahuasca.
Oh god, yeah.
There's a lot of. I mean, it's the performing arts festival.
Yeah.
Some shows you have to be on it just to get through them. Oh, that's cool, man. So we've Jose, the producer, has hooked us up because you're the first non-Welsh guest we've had on the show. These are Welsh cakes. Have you had a Welsh cake?
I've never had a Welsh cake before. No.
So, are you allergic to anything?
No.
Perfect.
So it's like a biscuit, and there's that raisins in it.
It's a cake. It's a type of dough, and there's raisins. Yeah. So I mean, I should have told Jose this in advance. I fucking despise raisins. All right. I hate them. I think Jose, don't look so surprised. All right. Grapes are for wine, right? Not for drying up. No, I don't find that bad. I think when I was younger, when I first had a raisin, I thought it was like a chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah.
And he's ruined raisins for me. Because I was like, what the hell has happened to this chocolate chip to make it so? Yeah. But I am going to go for it. I don't mind them so much
nice.
in Welsh cake.
There's cinnamon in it as well.
Yeah, it's
really, really nice.
Tasty.
Yeah, that's good.
We should just make the podcast trying out Welsh foods.
This is
the best
top
of the best.
10 podcast I've ever done because you've provided
Hooked
food.
You up with with a Welsh cake. Nice, man. What did you do before stand-up? What kind of job did you do?
Well, right before I worked mainly menial kind of office jobs and stuff. I worked right before stand-up. I worked at Scottish Power.
Okay.
Just on computers,
right?
Making sure people that got a new house got gas installed. Right, it was boring as shit. But like, in some ways, there's certain points where I miss it a lot. At Christmas, I really miss it because we don't get Christmas nights out. No. We have to entertain Christmas nights out. And Christmas nights out aren't even... I miss the Christmas nights out when I worked. Sure. Because Christmas nights out aren't really the same now. Companies don't pay for the entire thing and you all go to one hotel. We used to go to one hotel in Glasgow and then other workplaces would go to that hotel, and by about 3 hours in, you'd start mingling with the other groups.
Cool.
And it was great. So you got like 500 people in one massive dance floor, and they're playing cheesy shit. And I miss that. I miss the camaraderie of that. And I miss having workmates. I miss Friday afternoons. Like leaving the office and then going.
People don't appreciate, I think, that like with stand-up, your social life is also your job. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
And you might gig with somebody. Like I see you once, like maybe twice a year if I'm lucky. Yeah. And then I don't see you for ages, and then maybe we'll do a handful of gigs together, which is nice. But then, you don't have those social connections, seeing somebody every day. And
No. You have many friends, but you don't see them. Yeah. That's like the kind of thing. It's
one of the good things about social media, and one of the bad things as well. I know what everybody's up to.
Yeah.
But it tends to be what gigs they're doing.
Exactly.
Because that's all my friends now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the only thing I miss about it. Yeah. I mean, nobody misses the getting up in the morning and the day-to-day, and that's not...
It sounds like somebody's setting up an office out there right now. Is that going to be okay on this, you reckon? It's close enough proximity. We did one of these recordings, and there was so much noise coming from behind that curtain. We didn't know what it was, and it turns out it was like a mother and baby like things.
Like a class.
So we opened that curtain, and they didn't realize there was anything going on in here. And they parked about 50 prams at this curtain, thinking it was the edge of the room. And we're just like, we're trapped by prams.
That's brilliant. I love this room because if you came in and you heard stuff going on, this does look like you're filming a porno in here. Like it has very big porno vibes in this.
Yeah. And the mustache helps as well. You know, I've had this for a while. Nice, man. So you did office work for Scottish Power. What was your first job? Did you have a job during school or straight out of school?
Yeah, Woolworths.
What's that?
Woolworths. Do you remember Woolworths?
The convenience store.
Yeah, basically like B&M.
Yeah, sure.
And Home Bargains before they became a thing.
It was. I mean, speaking of Christmas parties, Woolworths was renowned for their Christmas, right? Is that the big thing that they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I worked there when I was still at school. And I worked at Christmas. I worked in the toy department.
Okay.
This is how like easy it was to get a leg up. I was in there and I started on the tills for about just a Saturday job, and I was there for about 6 weeks, and then I was made assistant manager of the toy department. But there was only
6 weeks in.
There was only 2 people worked in the toy department, so by default I was the assistant manager.
Nice. What a way to get a promotion.
Exactly.
You're just there.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with skill level or talent. It's mere numbers.
What were the best selling toys when you were working
So
there?
what was good was I got to live through the kind of late 90s, early 2000s where there was one toy that was massive.
Was it the Furby?
The Furby was the biggest one.
Okay.
And that was that was the kind of start of where you used to get almost like the kind of the Arnie film where he has to buy the Turbo Man.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah. Because before that, that kind of obsession for a toy didn't exist.
Yeah.
Whereas now parents were having to pre-book and order toys, like get on a waiting list for toys. And because most parents haven't experienced this before, through no fault of their own, they became shit parents overnight because they didn't have the toy that their kid was desperately wanting for Christmas. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, the big toy was Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
So everyone had Power Rangers, but the big one everyone wanted for Christmas was like the big robot.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Whatever they
was that when the 5 of them all came? Yeah.
I think so. And like, you know, I was quite, I must have been like 6, 7 years of age, something like this. And I remember asking my mother for this at Christmas. It was quite close to Christmas. I said, all the kids are having this. This is what everyone wants. This is what I want from Father Christmas.
Yeah.
You know? And well, actually from the Three Kings, because in Spain we write letters to the Three Kings. And my mother, obviously she told me years later, she was like, fuck. Like he's asked at so late a stage towards Christmas, and like she had no idea.
Yeah.
And now like it's sold out everywhere. So she went to one of these, like, so she tried everything. You know, it was like the Jingle All the Way, but with an unhappy ending. She didn't get it. But she went from place to place trying to get it, no luck. This is pre-internet as well, so like you can't be searching where it's in stock or whatever. And she went to like one of those cheap shops where they sell. I'm not talking like the big conglomerate companies that sell everything. I mean, you know those little convenience stores that sell everything. You can buy string.
Oh God,
yeah. Cleaning products.
Yeah, a bucket.
Everything, just little bits, and also like yo-yos and shit for kids and stuff as well. And my mom went into one of there desperately and just sort of, there was like a 2-pound like big plastic robot, all one color. I think it was yellow.
No.
Like it was not a Power Ranger. It was not an official licensed Power Rangers product. And she just, out of desperation, she had all like the individual little Rangers.
Yeah.
But she got this big plastic thing. Just be like, I hope it's okay. And she said, I got it, and I showed up. You know, she said, I loved it. And like, it was the best Christmas ever. I thought it was amazing. I took it into school. And because all the kids had the same robot, I was the only one with this big, cheap €2, so the 200 peseta giant plastic robot.
Man.
So but everyone was like, we want that.
Oh, right.
And they were
cool.
all jealous of me for this piece of shit.
Yeah, because you could just they play off like this is exclusive. This is a
this
really...
is, this is a limited edition from Japan.
5 of these were made.
So they all had the same super expensive. And their parents were like daggers at my mother, like, you motherfucker.
That's a great happy ending, though.
It was,
That's
that
a really good happy
okay.
ending, yeah. The one thing which I thought would be a cliche, but I witnessed it 3 Christmases in a row, was dads that haven't bothered their arse and would come in on Christmas Eve drunk and try and buy for the next day. And you can kind of take advantage because you can get rid of the the dog shit that you haven't been like. You're giving them jigsaws and stuff. Oh, the kids will love this. Jigsaw, yeah, kids are well into jigsaws now.
It's
and
a
like,
Quincy jigsaw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Kids love Columbo.
Yeah, the entire box set of Murder, She Wrote. But yeah, I mean, it was like a kind of tragic thing, but also just Scottish dads that have been, and probably been working up until that day, have then gone out to the pub and then gone, oh no.
Yeah, they've had their Christmas party
exactly
with their mates in the pub.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. And then they go to the garage to get the wife something as well.
Have you ever had any, because you got kids, have you had any parenting disasters with them wanting stuff? And then
it's annoying because we've tried to keep them believing in Santa as much as possible, because I think and I think my wee girl she's 12 now, and I was surprised we got last year. And I could tell she was kind of hedging her bets last year.
Sure.
Because obviously, because you don't want them to get too long into it, because you go, just grow up.
Yeah,
get a grip of yourself.
You don't want them to be sitting their GCSEs.
Exactly.
And the other kids are like, what do you mean, Father Christmas?
Think about this for a second. A man travelling across the entire world in one. Think about it, right? And but it's nice, and we try and keep it as much, because I think, and it'll devastate me when they both don't, because it's the last piece of magic that kids actually have. And then after that, you go, oh, now
reality sets
now
in.
it's life.
Yeah.
And there is no magic in life. So, but yeah, but what makes it annoying is when they still believe that, is they genuinely believe that Santa is infallible. So he can come up with it. They think they can change their minds up to a point. Right? I mean, if they change their minds on Christmas Eve, they don't see that as any problem.
Yeah.
And then you go, shit. And then you have to start coming up with some backstory about, it's the elves, and there's unionisation in the elves. You can't make them work extra to make
They're
you
on strike, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we support workers in this household.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's only the annoying thing, but it's never really. I think now, what's great about the internet, and particularly Amazon and stuff like that, is you can largely get stuff
next day.
You can. It is ridiculous when you think about it, but it is very handy.
It is. Yeah, this is disgusting level of convenience.
Oh, the what this has done to people and their attitudes towards things is so. I was texting my wife on the train down here yesterday, and I said, I looked at the sentence afterwards, and I was like, "You privileged piece of shit." I texted, I said, "There is nothing that annoys me more in the world than bad phone service on a train." Nothing in the world, Ignacio. Nothing. There's 2 world wars going on right now. But the biggest thing that annoys me in the world is that I can't watch something on a phone on a train.
I find it infuriating. I'm totally with you, man. Yeah. Fuck those starving kids.
Exactly.
Where's my Wi-Fi? Yeah, I mean, dropping out of signal, it's relative, it's relative. You're in that, you're doing it, especially it depends how your mind works. If I'm in the middle of doing something and that's snatched away from me, it's infuriating.
What I was trying to do was I was trying to upload something. I was trying to upload a file to something, and it just kept getting to that 94%, and then I was like, I'll crash this fucking thing now.
So Michelle, my partner, loves if we go away to a cabin or something, somewhere where you're kind of remote and you can't do these things. Usually fine. I like that as well. Kind of switch off a little bit, because I am too perpetually online and stuff, and constantly. I'm a workaholic in terms of tinkering with things, and we'll go away. And I remember we were away, somewhere out in West Wales, middle of nowhere, and I had the call through. I had to upload a file for some TV thing. And I just could not do. I couldn't find signal in a 6-mile radius of this place. I was going everywhere, trying anything I could. And by the end of it, I was like, I wanted to burn this cabin to the ground. I completely understand, Jack Nicholson's character in The Shining.
That's what The Shining would be now.
No signal.
Yeah. Some guy trying to catch up on the end of some TV series before it gets ruined for him.
Like a mini-series of The Shining. He's watching the mini-series of The Shining. And being like, why is this not finishing?
Yeah.
I want to know what happens next. What was can you remember what your worst day at work was while you were at Woolworths?
There was, to be honest, not that many because it was such a good laugh, and it was such a kind of fun job to do because it was all people my age that you were working with, and some of my friends already worked there, and I quite like dealing with the public. I quite like the public, and so it was
Weirdo.
funny. But they are. I mean, they're fucking. Like, there was a guy one day when I was working in the tills asked if he could return a Mars bar, right? And now you get returns quite a lot. You used to get it with CDs quite a lot and DVDs all the time, and then other things where if something was broken or but. And normally with DVDs or CDs, because we would just take them back, no bother, people would just come back and go, yeah, listen to it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And you're like, fair enough. I think that is nothing wrong with that. I've done it myself. But then he said, can I return the Mars bar? And you had to ask, is there anything wrong with it? Right? And he just went, I just don't want it anymore. And I was trying to think of the backstory, like as if like I've never seen anyone buy a Mars bar as an impulse buy. Do you know what I mean? I'll give this a bash. Or if he's gone home and his wife's looked at him and gone, we're not made of money in this house. A Mars bar.
You take that back, all right? This is like Jack and the Beanstalk here. You rocked up with a Mars bar. What are you doing? We got mouths to feed. Yeah.
But and this was when Mars bars, I mean, literally like 35 pence.
Yeah.
So I had to refund him 35 pence.
Did he immediately buy something else with that
money?
money?
No, just walked out. So I don't know what, I hope that 35 pence went to some good.
Do you think he saw down the street somewhere a Mars bar on sale for like 32 pence?
Maybe.
He thought, nobody makes a fool out of me.
Yes. Now, I never even thought of that. That is a much more, because it's particularly Scottish people. I remember, I used to do a routine about this, where the first time I went to Prague, right, we went on a stag do. And this was like, and I think Prague's still kind of like that. But we were going, and the hotel we were in had a bowling alley in the basement, right? So we would go and have a game of bowling before we would go out every night. But they were selling litres of Czech lager, right?
Right.
For the equivalent of 49 pence, right? And you're like, this is insane, right? And then we found a bit down the street that was selling it for 36 pence, right? And we were like, there's not a fucking chance we're going back to that 49 pence place again. And it was that kind of, we're not mugs. I'll be damned if I'm paying 49 pence.
You go back to the place, I'd like to return this lager, please.
Thieving bastards up at that bowling alley. 14, how dare they?
Is there anything wrong with it? I just don't want it anymore, okay? Those thieving bastards. 49p. Can I just ask, what time was this bowling alley open until?
Oh, that's what we don't know. We never went after.
Oh, okay, after the 49p disaster.
Yeah, we would go. We couldn't believe it. First of all, that there was. I mean, it was only 2 lanes.
Okay,
and I don't think many people knew about it because we were the only ones ever there.
I was going to say, because in my head, having stayed in so many fucking hotels, that would drive me absolutely nuts. Just hearing the sound of pins getting knocked down.
If you were on the first floor and the ground floor was a bowling alley, oh my god, Jesus. You're just hoping they're really shit, so they never hit anything.
Got the ball every time, Oh man, do you have good bowling game? Are you a bowler?
I'm
yourself?
all right. I'm very good at pub sports.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm good at pool.
Okay, great.
I'm quite good at darts.
I found that because I worked in a bar in Spain, stereotypically in my dad's bar for a number of years, and there was a pool table there, and if it was quiet, you just rack up the pool table and just play for hours.
Yeah.
If my dad's watching, I was doing work as well, okay? But if I'd just be like playing pool all day, and then you'd get people coming on holiday, obviously British people, and I'd just wipe the floor with them, because I'd be
hustle them
playing the exactly. I'd be playing the equivalent of like a professional pool player every day. And then I didn't play when I moved to the UK for like 6 years or something. I just I didn't live near a pool hall or whatever. I was just in South Wales. And then the first game back, I was like, oh, really rusty, and they were all like laughing, like, oh, this Spanish guy can't play pool ever. But about 3 games in, like it came back to me,
the muscle memory just
I was just like clean up, it was great.
Yeah. But what's that? See in Spain when you're growing up, because in Scotland, where I live, normally it's just football you're pushed into.
Sure.
Where I lived near the borders, it was football and rugby.
Okay.
What is it in Spain when you're growing up at school? Is it
Football, basketball, tennis?
I was thinking tennis as well.
In Mallorca, for me, the biggest sport was basketball. Like all my family play basketball. Like
Right.
some of them professionally.
Wow.
Some of them train. My uncle was the coach of the national Spanish team for a while. Like,
Cool.
Really exciting
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm the shortest member of my family. I'm 6'1", and I'm.
That's what I was going to say. You're not a short man in the slightest.
And I
so.
say that, and people are kind of like, "Oh, really?" I
Wow.
get two reactions when I tell people that. One, people are surprised. They're like, "Oh, you look taller in real life than you do like on reels or whatever."
Right, okay, yeah.
Watching social media. But then when I tell them I'm the shortest member of my family, they're like, "Oh, like how?"
Yeah.
All my family like.
And
really,
what
really
height
tall.
do they go up to? What's the tallest
So
member?
my dad is like 6'5",
Right.
6'4", 6'5". My brother's a little bit shorter than that, but my uncles and cousins are all much taller.
Jeez.
We got like 6'8" in the family.
Wow.
Yeah. Big family. And all the women as well on my Spanish side are all quite tall also.
All right.
I don't know where I got like it was people when I told them this, some people like, "Oh, I always thought like Spanish people were short." I'm like, "Where did you get that impression
Yeah,
from?"
that's never been a
Manuel. That's where they got the impression
of course,
from.
Of course,
A non-Spanish
of course.
guy
Yeah,
just
yeah,
down
yeah,
like this.
yeah. An English actor playing a Spanish waiter has clouded their judgment of the height of all Spanish people. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, John Cleese is an abnormally tall man as
that's
well.
true.
So even
he
a
would have-
regular height.
I bet Manuel wasn't even that
Like,
small. I bet he
probably
was
wasn't,
sitting
yeah.
about
He was
5'11".
6'1",
Yeah.
But no, man, basketball was a big sport. I tell you what, I found fun that I missed is volleyball, man. I used to love playing volleyball when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We'd have like summer camps in Spain, in Mallorca. We do when you finish school, you have like a week off, and then you keep going to school, but it's just sports camp over the summer.
Oh, cool.
So even like as 7, 8 years old, you still be just going in and you're just playing sports all day.
Yeah.
It's basketball for a couple of hours. Or
Yeah.
now it's volleyball. Then we have swimming, and it's just that sweet like holiday club.
Yeah.
And I miss volleyball because it's not played in the UK.
No, I think I've played volleyball maybe twice in my life.
Okay.
But because of the scene in Top Gun, I consider volleyball to be an absolute class
That's
sport,
why I
so-
started flying fighter jets. Actually, same reason.
That's why I hate the Russians.
So you first job was Woolworths.
Mm-hmm.
Last job before you started doing stand-up was office work.
Yeah.
Just Scottish Power. Did you ever see? Go on.
Sorry, I remember my work, and this is terrible, and this kind of goes back to something earlier on. The worst day at work
Okay.
was at Scottish Power,
All
right?
right.
Because, and this is terrible, we used to have access. So there was very little to do, right? You had a certain amount of things you had to do, and once you got it done, that was it. You were never given extra work. And this was in a day where we had free access to the internet, like absolutely free, to the point where I was actually.
Did any work get done?
No, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, because it was such. I mean, it was basically organising and filling in forms for people. You'd get a stack of stuff would come in on an inbox, and then you'd sort all that out. And as long as they were all done for the day, so you could largely get it done by midday, and you're there till 4:30. So,
Right.
and it was honestly, Ignacio, to the point where I was struggling to find things to do on the internet, and like I remember I used to read. Because you could watch stuff on the screen, but I would read film scripts, right? I found a database of I'm just going to read the film, right? So I was doing this, and then there was one day where we'd heard whispers in an email come out that internet access was going to be blocked, and I swear to God, in the office it was like someone had died. The sheer mourning in that office, where we were like, we honestly don't know how to react to this. We don't know what we're going to do now. Like, honestly, like almost panic attacks. Going, I don't know how I'm going to fill my time now. Like, this is genuinely terrible.
What was the outcome?
The outcome was we never got the internet again. Some people tried to fight back to it, and then they relaxed it a bit where they would allow certain. But it was weird because they must have had some IT guys that would enter certain phrases that you weren't allowed to get. But
Okay.
it was really weird because I remember one day we couldn't get on the BBC, right? So you couldn't read any news, you couldn't read any sports news. I remember one day we couldn't get on UEFA's website. So we were trying different things. We couldn't get on UEFA's website, but we could get on a website called boredatwork.com. And it just didn't make any sense to what they were just putting in mass websites and going, no, you're not having any of this, but some would slip through.
I love how like they're just trying to think what would they be reading and like blocking stuff website by website.
Yeah.
You're like just finding ways around it.
Yeah.
Different sites.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. It's like the video Nasties band in the 80s.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, like well, we'll just watch Spit on Your Grave then. No, that's banned as well, actually, right? I worked in a call center for a little while, and I remember the day they came in and they said, because we worked in the compliance department at one point, and we'd be on the computer all day, and a lot of our job was searching for stuff on the internet. And I remember they came in one day and they were like, we're not happy with productivity. And we're like, we smash our targets. We've been doing, we just go through the work. Like, you know, I don't understand what the problem is. But they came in one day and they said, yeah, we've had the IT come in while, you know, overnight and basically block everyone's computer from anything outside of work stuff. And I was like, okay. And they left the office. And then I sort of like went into the settings on my computer, like, rummage around in the network settings, like I can see where they've blocked it. Yeah. Went through, removed the block, and then went around everyone in my little department and brought. I was like hero for like you know,
you're like a proper hacker.
Like, yeah.
That's class.
Going through all the different loopholes and stuff. Yeah, it was good, man, for a little while. But then they clamped down on it again. You know, found a different way. They broke our fingers. You can't search for anything. Broke our fingers. The office mafia. What would you say? What would you say is been the worst gig you've ever done? It's a question people love asking me.
Again, it's not. I don't think I've ever had any real disasters, and I think they've largely been my fault. I think I've never really.
You didn't throw up before. That's what it is.
Yeah, I did go through my pre-routine. There's not. I'm trying to think. I mean, like. Festivals are probably the worst ones, like music festival, because I love music festivals a lot, and but we had one called Tea in the Park in Scotland, and it's you get like milestone gigs in your stand-up career where you go, I can't believe I've now been booked for that.
Sure.
So when I first got booked for the comedy tent there, that was very exciting because I was like, and even the cheesiness of being able to go hello Tea in the Park at the start, I was like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
But we were booked, and that might be that will be one of the worst actually. We went into the tent, and it was me, and so I was on second. Ian Stirling was on first.
Yeah.
So this was just prior to Love Island. Ian Stirling.
Yeah. And
we went into a tent which was used later on for DJs and stuff. But this wasn't. Comedy tents at festivals can be amazing.
Yes.
If the tent is set up and it's in the right area of the festival.
Spaced out far enough away from the main stage.
And it's not too big, but it allows people. Because I've seen people go to the comedy tent most of the day.
Yeah.
Because they can go and get a drink in between acts, and then they can sit there inside. And if it's hot, then it's great being in there because it's cooler. And if it's raining, it's amazing to be in there. But this tent was. I mean, I reckon around about 6,000 people could have fit in this tent.
Right.
And we...
Can I guess how many were in there?
You can.
Was it?
I don't think you'll get it because it's going to be a lot lower than you're even going to guess.
Really? I was going to say 30.
No, 13.
What?
13 people came into this tent, and me.
How far away from the stage did they sit?
So about 5 of them stood at the barrier and standing up, so they weren't even sitting down. And then there was a load kind of sitting up the back that had a rough, because this was a Saturday, so they'd already had the Friday, so they were sitting up the back and just like that,
hungover.
But that was, and that would have been, it would have been doable if you'd have just put it out of your mind and gone. You know, treated it like the drive-in gigs we did during COVID. Yeah. Like you can't see anything. You're essentially speaking to a black space, and you're speaking to yourself because you're not getting any reaction back. You could have done that, but we had to do 45 minutes each, and it was honestly hell on earth. Genuine.
Why do they book acts for so long? I don't understand this. It's like corporates, man. It's like, can you do an hour? No.
Oh, God.
Nobody's going to sit and watch you for an hour.
The worst.
45 minutes in a music festival.
Yeah, it's insane because...
That's how long the bands are
exactly.
playing.
There was bands playing less time. Like, Feeder were on that afternoon and did 40 minutes, right?
They played Buck Rogers 12 times.
But
I really like Feeder, and they have way more songs than that, all right?
But but corporates are probably worse.
Yeah.
Actually, because at least at the festival they want to be there.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
To ask someone to do 45 minutes at a corporate is in. Personally, I like doing them. I like the money.
Yeah.
But the idea of getting anyone to do comedy at a corporate is ridiculous anyway. It's ill thought out by everyone. It doesn't do the act any good. It doesn't do the organisation any good, and it certainly doesn't do the people there any good.
Yeah.
Because it's so alien to everything else that's going on. Nobody's really listening. People are speaking. You're normally on a dance floor at their level, so there's not even a stage. The mic will be shit. And then to ask to do it's so. And I don't know why anyone's ever surprised that it doesn't work.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
The worst thing is when you get booked for something based on somebody seeing you in a comedy club.
Yeah.
And then they book you for a corporate or a private event. I've done all kinds of stuff. Weddings, birthday parties, the lot. And things can work if you get enough of the right things. If you basically recreate a comedy club setting, then it can potentially work, right? But I've been doing shows where nothing is even remotely like a comedy club. People aren't facing the right way. Everyone's standing, like tall tables, drinking cocktails.
Yeah, they're still serving dessert while you're on. It's like
they want me to. I've been at them where they said, "Can you go table to table like a close-up magician?" No, of course.
Oh my
I can't.
God.
And, I've done these gigs and they're surprised. Like, I don't understand, it didn't go well. I've seen you do so well in a comedy club because that's a comedy club. That's like asking like Cristiano Ronaldo to play in a swimming pool. Like it's not going to be the same. It's a completely different setting.
The ideas some people have for comedians to do that the going table to table. There was a gig once that was advertised during a comedy festival in Glasgow where they were trying to get people to go to office buildings and entertain folk during their lunch hour. And that was going to each table and doing a wee bit and then moving on to the next table. And they couldn't understand why this wasn't.
Just let them eat their lunch in peace.
Even worse, there was a gig, right? Because a hotel was one of the sponsors of it. They wanted a comedian to stand in the lift for 3 hours during the day and entertain people as they arrived and went up to the room in the lift. Yeah, how fucking demeaning that is for everyone involved in that.
What a heckle, just somebody bashing the doors open button on a lift.
Just see, there's a queue on the stairs because you're in the lift.
I'd rather walk 8 floors than listen to your stupid puns, mate.
Just someone pulling a wheelchair up like that. Even he can't take it. He's like, I would rather risk.
Do you have a room on the ground floor? Reception. Speaking of music festivals, I've done a handful in my time, and again, they can work very, if they again have the right setting. If you've got enough people there sitting there wanting comedy, I've rocked up to them and been pleasantly surprised sometimes because the tent is full. You're far away from the main stage.
Oh yeah,
everyone's like, yeah, we do this until 8 p.m. Then we go see the headliners. That's of the music stage. But I've also done it where the comedian myself, I've been booked to go in between the bands on a stage, not the main stage, obviously, and you get the bands setting up and tuning up behind you.
Oh yeah,
I did one once in Swansea, and as I delivered the joke to a bunch of indifferent people who were just waiting for the band, the drummer went "Pudum."
Oh no! Oh,
I don't even think he was after a joke. He was after I'd made a statement. He went "Pudum."
Oh God!
And I turned around. I was like, please don't do that.
That's hell.
And he was like, what's your problem? I was helping, and I was like, listen, man, that's like me standing behind you when you're playing the drums and just hitting a triangle out of time. That's not helping me at all.
I'm doing the Will Ferrell with a cowbell, just round his face like that,
More cowbell.
We did that. There was a great one, Rock Ness. Brett Vincent booked it, and it was fantastic because it was mostly Scottish acts, and the festival was on the banks of Loch Ness, so it was incredible. Wow. And it was really, really well, because Brett knows what he's doing, and it was positioned in exactly the right place in the site, and it was rammed all day, and it was because it was mostly Scottish acts, it was the only time of year where we did get to hang out with each other for the full weekend.
Sure.
And there was one year where they'd added a different kind of thing, and they'd put a drum and bass it wasn't even a tent, it was like a stall, right? It was just a guy had set up decks near the tent, right? So he'd started, and the bass was so loud, you could feel it coming through the ground up into people, and even the audience were like, Jesus, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I remember Brett going to the guy and saying, is there any chance you could turn the bass down? And he just went, but then I would just be drums. I was like, that is such a beautiful line. I was pissing myself.
That reminds me of a time. Have you ever done, I'm not going to say who the promoter is, but they run 2 nights in Plymouth?
No?
You
Never done a
haven't
gig in Plymouth. No.
Right. There's some nice gigs in Plymouth, but there's 2 gigs, which the gigs are fine, but they put you, one of the things is like the fees aren't great, but they put you up in a B&B. So the first time I went to do one, I was like, oh, great. I've never been to Plymouth before. You know, I get to go see Plymouth, stay there overnight. You know, they're putting me up. That's one of the main costs of doing stand-up sometimes if you're traveling is accommodation. So I went there, and the first time I did it, I rocked up to the B&B, and the lady at the front door was like, you're late. And I was like, what do you mean I'm late? It's before the gig, but it's like 8 p.m. or something, right? And I'm like, I'm closing this gig, so I'm just checking into B&B before I go to the gig. And she was like, you're late. The other 2 have already arrived. It was like, other 2, all the acts, right, from the bill. I was like, all right. I said, oh, well, we didn't travel. We don't travel together anymore. We're not like a team where I'm showing up to the gig separately. I've got a different spot. She's like, all right. She like gave me the key and stuff, and she said, can you fill this form out? And I was like, all right, went through the whole thing. And she said, oh, just so you know, there's no breakfast. And I was like, well, that means you're just a B. You can't call it a B&B. Like, it's just a B if you don't do breakfast. And she just did not find that funny whatsoever. I was like, you can't call yourself a bed and breakfast. You're just a bed. Like, what do you... It says it on the sign, B&B.
You've now taken away half of the contract here. Literally half of the contract.
So I was like, well, and she was very nice. And she was like, oh, and there's no food allowed in your room. I was like, so I'm not allowed to bring food back. I'm not allowed to. And she was like, yeah, no. And the next day, actually, oh man, I'm going to tell you this story super quick. I can't remember the names of the acts. They're both, I wouldn't say they're professional on the circuit. I think this is one of those gigs where the fees are so bad, they sometimes just get anyone they can kind of pull in. And there was 2 guys in this bill, much older guys than myself. And we went and did the gig. They did okay. They did fine. The gig wasn't a disaster or anything. But after, one of them went straight back to the B&B, and the other went back to the B. And the other one stuck out and was like, this is my opportunity to cheat on my wife, right? So just was like feeling the highs of, I've gigged in Plymouth, like, you know, I'm a superstar. 20 people have laughed at my jokes, like I'm going to go out. And so he was just being lecherous around the club and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm going back. Like, I'm gonna grab some food. I went and got a kebab on the way back to the B. Snuck it in. I forgot about the no food rule. Contraband. A big coat
up your arse.
that garlic sauce and chili I smell. The sniffer dogs on the door. And I got into my room, and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day to like banging on the door. And I was like, what's going on? I opened it. No, banging on the door, and the door opening, and I'm in my underwear on top of the bed, right? With the kebab, like half a kebab next to me. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm just wearing my underwear. And the woman was like, checkout's at 10 a.m. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm looking at my phone, it's 10 to 10. And I was like, what are you doing? But also, I thought like checkout was 11, like most places. Turns out, I found out over the course of the years, it's very different everywhere you go. 10 a.m. checkout. And I was like, this is, it's frustrating. Like, okay, I'll change. And she said, there's no food allowed. She saw the kebab, and I was like, I'm sorry, and stuff like that. She goes, I'm going to have to tell them about this, the comedy club who booked it, whatever. Like, I'm not broken the rules. And I was, I'm sorry. Don't care about getting booked back anyway. Pack all my stuff together. As I'm leaving, she comes out. She goes, no food. I said, look, I'm really sorry about that. It's just I was really hungry. As you know, I got in late, etc. And there's no breakfast, so I thought I'm going to need to eat something. I got a long journey ahead of me tomorrow. And she said, your colleague, she said, it is no guests allowed. And he brought a woman back with him last night. And I was like, all right, okay. She said, I'm going to have to tell them about that as well. I said, well, can you make sure they know it wasn't me?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Don't mix up the two. Remember, one brought a kebab back.
Remember, I'm the kebab guy.
Right? The other one brought back a woman. I said, because I don't want it getting out, I don't want anyone thinking
of
that
course,
I've done this.
Yeah.
And she said, all right. And she said, and he wet the bed. I was like,
Oh
what?
my God.
I was like, well, definitely put that down.
Yeah,
Wasn't on me,
yeah,
okay? I don't
yeah.
want to.
Oh, Jesus.
So she made me write down my name in the guest book and like put in brackets. And I wrote like, didn't piss myself or bring a woman back. I did have a kebab.
Oh, God. That's one of the funniest assumptions that people have, audience members have, that idea that we all arrive together. It's when it's often, if you're all leaving at the same time and an audience member sees you and you're going, where are you all off to next then?
They say
like,
that, yeah.
They
like
assume you're all going to get on a chuckle bus off to the next town. Like, it's not like that.
We all live in a house together as well, actually. It's like the Brady Bunch, or the monkeys. Yeah, man. It's strange, like the stuff. It's funny the little assumptions audiences make, like the fact that they think that the MC isn't a stand-up.
Yeah,
that's one of the most common things of all time. Like Robin was the MC last night. We both did the Glee, and like he's great comic and MC, and he does both regularly. But people walk up to him all the time and just be like, "Oh, you should do that comedy show." I've had it. Everybody who's ever MC who's a comic as well. And like the whole thing, we travel around together.
Yeah, it's incredible.
They think that us playing comedy clubs, they think that that's our tour. Like I'm trying to explain, I'm on tour, and they kind of like, we saw you.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I was doing 20 minutes in a club. That's not my tour.
Yeah. When it's just me, that's the tour. That's not.
All of the dates on my poster. That's the tour. Plymouth on a Wednesday night. This is not my tour. I just want you to know that.
You know how Coldplay, when they go around, they don't also take 4 other bands doing exactly the same amount of time as them. That's
short set as well. You feel so cheated if you went to see Coldplay and they did 20 minutes.
Notebook.
We got to get out with doubling.
Try some new stuff.
When you do the Fringe and you full run of the Fringe, you do typically is 25 nights isn't it, as a rule, the Fringe. How different is it from the start to the end of your show? Do you use the Fringe as a work in progress?
I did this year. That's the first time I've ever done that.
Okay.
And that probably made me more. It should make you more relaxed.
Right.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
But I found it more stressful because I don't like going there with stuff that isn't at least almost there.
Sure.
But this was largely me just going, let's try this.
Yeah.
And if it works. And that, you see a massive difference by the end. But even when you do go with a show that's fairly stable from the start, it does change massively over the months because a lot of stuff comes. I mean, it's infuriating, but a lot of stuff does come when you're on stage.
Yeah.
A lot of lines just happen organically on stage. And
what I've found is, because I've recorded a couple of specials that haven't gone out, and what I've discovered is I come up with the best toppers for jokes after they're filmed.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating being on stage the next night, saying a joke and then saying something immediately after it gets a huge laugh. It's like, I could have done that on film last night.
It's, I mean, I imagine there'll be very, very few comics where the night they filmed was the best night of the tour.
Yeah, definitely.
If you manage, that's sheer luck. That is not by design or anything. Because the ones that are incredible were probably the ones that you never even thought would be the best ones.
You sometimes as well, you walk into a room like a music festival and you write the gig off before it even happens, and then they turn out to be the best gigs.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to switch it up to the lager now. I think I'm going to get... It's about time for that. There we go. Nice. No branding on screen for the Welsh cakes. What, in terms of... Have you watched many shows in Wales? Or you've just performed here, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been coming for a good while, actually. I've not been... I realised last night I've not actually been here for 5 years.
To Cardiff?
To Cardiff, yeah.
Whoa.
And that's not through any decision by me or decision by the clubs. It's just the way it's worked out that I've not been here for a long time.
Yeah.
So it is really, really nice.
It's a trek.
Yeah, it is. But I love the city so much, and I've had some great weekends here. Really good weekends.
What was your favourite one? Do you remember the lineup?
I do, because it was because the Glee especially is, there's certain, when you first start out and you're doing open spots, there are certain clubs that are like milestone ones, and you'll always have them. Like I still like the Comedy Cellar for me in New York is still one that I would love to do one day.
Awesome.
And then, but when you get up, you're like, right, okay, the Stand in Glasgow, that's one. Comedy Store, that's one. And the Glees were right up there.
Yeah.
And I very luckily got in with Glee because the open spots went really well that I didn't have to do as much hoop jumping as normal.
Yeah.
And so I was in quite quickly. And I did my first ever Christmas run at any club in Cardiff.
Amazing.
And it was phenomenal because Christmas gigs are unlike anything else. And that was when Christmas gigs now, because there's so much for people to do. And again, like I was saying with Christmas nights out, it used to be if you get booked for a run, you'd be there Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
And sometimes you would do 2 a day. And it was phenomenal. Like, and it was great because some would be horrendous, but some would be fantastic. And it was always the ones, and doing gigs in the afternoon was brilliant. And so the first ever Christmas run I did was in Cardiff, and I was so excited about it and so nervous, but and the lineup I was on, I felt so out of my, not comfort zone, but my place in the industry, because it was, so Ellis James was comparing, and Carl Donnelly was on first.
Oh, wow.
I was on in the middle, and then Tom Stade was closing.
What a
So
lineup.
these are 3 guys I have held in huge esteem.
Yeah.
Starting comedy, real massive. Stade was one of the first people I ever saw live, and it was phenomenal. It was exciting because it was exciting to realise that you belonged in that company and you weren't the obvious weak link. You could hold your own in that, but also to hang about with, because that was the first time I'd really had a full week to hang about just with comics.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And
the funny thing about the audiences making assumptions like, oh, you're all touring together and all this stuff. One of the few times where it's kind of like that is when you're doing a weekend at the Glee, for instance, or a run of 3 or 4 nights somewhere. You're all staying at the same hotel. And
you do
kind of
hang
get that
out.
camaraderie and
And I remember very vividly, I think it was it the first night or the second night? But so Ellis had gone on a start and done incredibly, and then Carl had smashed it, and then I'd done well as well in the middle, and Stade came on at the end, and this was before Tom had even done. He did McIntyre.
Yeah.
And so this is before. So Tom's still just a circuit comic, right? It's not Tom Stade now. This is before Meat Van had come out and we'd gone on to this. And Tom came out and we'd done well and we thought we'd done well. Tom came out like Tom is, rock star as fuck. And the audience are clapping just like they would for any other closing act.
Yeah.
And he came to the mic and just went, yeah, I'd be pretty fucking excited to see me as well. And I just turned to Donnelly and we just went, he's the only one, not just in this lineup, but possibly on the circuit that could get. If any of us had opened like that,
people would
they'd
stop
have
clapping.
hated us immediately and thought, who is this prick?
Yeah.
But Stade did it. And the audience were just, it was like they were transfixed on Jesus Christ, the charisma behind this guy is just.
It's funny because when I started, I used to play music at the end of a regular comedy night. That's how I kind of got into stand-up. I'd loved stand-up for years. Never even occurred to me that was a viable thing you could do. I didn't even think, how do you get into stand-up? I just loved stand-up comedy. And I used to play music at this night, me and a guitar, potential shit, just as people are drinking up. And I made friends with loads of comics. But one of the things I noticed was how self-deprecating everyone was and how many comics could go on stage and the whole joke was they play low status. Majority of acts would be low status. So when I started doing stand-up, I was like, no, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I went out and people, you could genuinely see the difference in the room. Everyone going what the fuck is this guy doing? It's how's he so it's not a very British thing as well to be kind of go on stage and go I'm fucking
it's
great.
And when you see people, because you definitely get away, you can do it. And it is the fact, because you're charismatic and you are good looking and you're, and the fact that you're Spanish.
That's what I keep telling people.
It massively helps. And it does, I think you, Tom, and Emmanuel Sunubi do it. And it's very funny to watch because it's never, because I've seen older comics do it and it looks shit. If they don't have a specific thing about them.
I've seen, there's definitely been, especially when I was starting out, there's definitely been times where I've gone out on stage and maybe I've gone in too hard on that and I've lost the audience immediately. You learn pretty quickly
Yeah.
what works and what doesn't, and how you can make it a bit more
Yeah.
palatable for people. But the only reason I think it works as like a kind of comic conceit to make people really laugh at it is because it's different to what the majority of people were doing.
Yeah.
If other people going out there all like, I think everything comes in waves. And I think the 80s stand-up wise was very much like most of the comics were confident.
Just
and,
bravado,
Yeah. Whereas, and then the alt comedy scene changed everything. People became a bit more introverted, nervous, and that kind of energy. So I think it works well as a counterpoint and stands out. Whereas
I think there's a balance. Like I would far rather watch someone like you or Emmanuel go out and it's not even an arrogance thing. It's just the audience letting the audience know. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? And you know I'm good. So who are we fucking... I would much rather that than the fucking people who go out and... Like, I'm so awkward with women. Like, no, you're not. Shut up. Stop trying this. Like, I've seen you off stage. You're a creepy, handsy bastard, right? You're not awkward.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it was funny because when I started doing stand-up, like loads of the women comics would tell me that like, any comic you see on stage being like, oh, I'm shit with women and going on and on about it, they were just using that as like a way to bring women's defenses down. Like it is
they're the
creepy as
ones.
shit.
They're the ones in the women's only WhatsApp groups. That's them.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Louis C.K. never claimed to be great with women, did he?
No,
You know?
exactly.
So he's always going out there going like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
such a disaster with
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking no wonder, mate. Yeah.
But it is interesting because when you're saying like sometimes when you would go in too hard and you do learn, depending on what persona you have as a comedian, you do very quickly learn how to do it. It's like my favorite ever quote I've had from a review is from The Fringe, and it was someone had said that I've never seen a comedian be so offensive and so likable simultaneously. And I was like, but it takes a lot of work to get to that level where...
The problem is a lot of new comics or people who've never done it before, they think you can just go out and be Frankie Boyle from the offset and go make really inappropriate jokes. There's a reason he's capable of doing that. There's a reason you can get away with it. There's a reason so many people. It's because we've learned the hard way what you can get away with, how you can push that line, you know, how to get the audience on your side. Being likable is a more useful thing than having the best material in the world.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, it's finding that balance where you can combine them.
Yeah, if the
which
audience
you've done very well.
If the audience trusts you, thank you. And it's not about when people say you get this stuff, like people don't understand it's just a joke.
Yeah.
You have to convince the audience that you're just joking. Because I have seen people go out and do certain material, and if the audience are looking at you genuinely believe those are your opinions and those are your thoughts, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Whereas what I like to think I could do is I can go out and the audience know this is obviously...
It's a conceit.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It is a completely... He doesn't mean any of this.
Man, if everything I was saying on stage were my actual opinions on stuff, then not just a fleeting thought that I think, oh, that could be funny, then I'd be the most horrible human being on earth.
Yeah.
You know, you joke about terrible things, and the joke is very much, that is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it be funny if I didn't think that was a terrible thing?
Exactly, yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if I was legitimately this arrogant? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's a... Whereas if it was reality, it's not funny
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. Yeah.
They have to be in on the joke a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the best show you've ever seen? It doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be stand-up. Can be music. Anything. Theatre.
The best. Well, I mean, I'll do comedy because it's more interesting to talk about. I mean, the best show I've ever seen is Oasis.
I knew you were going to say that. We cut that.
I mean, it's the best thing anyone will ever see. It's not.
Nah, man.
Like genuinely, Jesus could come back and redo the Ten Commandments tour, and like that, it would not be as special. A Sermon on the Mount.
Jesus always ripping off Moses' material.
I just realised that. As well. I meant to say Sermon on the Mount as well.
Jesus is such a hack.
Comedy-wise, I'm trying to think. It probably wouldn't even be a solo show. I've just seen people. I remember there was a night where I think it was one of my first ever weekends at the Comedy Store, and Terry Alderton was closing.
Right.
And you think you've had good gigs, and you think you've ripped the roof off.
Yeah.
it's nothing even compared to when you see someone like Alderton or Phil Nicol when they are absolutely on. It's mind-blowing to watch.
Yeah.
When you see people that are physically unable to laugh anymore, it's incredible. And that night, I've never seen anyone storm a gig like that night at the Comedy Store.
Terry's awesome.
It was magical.
It's one of those things where, you know, you can prepare and you can write your material and you can do everything you can, but there's a chaotic energy to somebody like Terry that you can't recreate.
Yeah. But Nicole's got it as well.
Yeah.
And it's just, I remember there was a night in Cardiff I did, and I can't remember who was comparing, but it was a night, you know, when you've done it where it doesn't happen as much anymore, but you'd get like superstar comedians come and try out new stuff. Like Lee Evans was the one that, Lee Evans would come and do the middle, and he'd do an hour in the middle.
Yeah.
And you're just like that. And luckily, I've never had to follow Lee Evans. I've had to follow Jack D.
Mate,
and that was
last 2 weeks ago. I had to follow Chris Ramsey trying out stuff for his tour in South Shields.
Yeah, see, I mean,
where he lives.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
God damn
it's
it.
ridiculous. One weekend here, I knew the lineup, and then I got the email through, and I actually said, I was like, "Are you sure this is?" Because it was Phil Nicol opening, Bridges in the middle, and then me, right? So I'm like that, and they were like, "No, totally, I go for it." Like, and then I was like, "Right, okay." So I'm like, "Right, this is fucking this is Champions League A game. You have to." And obviously, Phil is going, I'm opening, so I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna gay Eskimo this out the
he
fucking
opened with
park.
the only gay Eskimo. Yeah.
So he's ripped it.
Yeah.
Kevin comes on to like Jesus has just walked on stage. There's people on their fucking seats, like can't believe, because he's unlisted.
People in the third row, like, well, it's not Oasis.
Yeah. So but I think that's good for you, because like following people that you go, Jesus Christ, they are phenomenal, and I have to somehow match that as.
Phil Nichol's one of those acts where, you know, he's one of the acts I saw early on, which was like, that is pure comedy. Like that guy is one of the funniest people on earth. Yeah. And also, even now, I've done stand-up for coming up to 16 years, and like looking out at the crowd when Phil Nichol's performing, I've seen people laughing at his stuff. I've never seen that level of laughter. Yeah. I'm just like, wow, you still always got something to aspire to. And like humbling, you know,
absolutely. Yeah.
But just
Yeah, I wonder. Like, I don't imagine they will. Like, if you get to that kind of level of ever. I've spoken to Sloss about this, and you always think there is another. Like, I would hate to ever get to a situation where I go, right, I am the best. Yeah, like, there is literally no one better than me now. Yeah, I would hate. Like, I don't know if Chris Rock or CK or any like Burr ever get that. Yeah, I don't imagine they would, because I don't think it's in their.
No, you'd just stop working. Surely you wouldn't. You always have to strive towards something. Yeah. And the thing I love about stand-up is I've told a lot of people this is, you can always get better. Yeah. You can always do something to improve on what you're doing, or writing new material. You can always craft something, make it better. Yeah. There's always room for improvement. Speaking of, I won't talk about Sloss because he was slagging off Spain recently because he was gigging in Portugal.
He always does.
Piece of shit. No, the thing that annoyed me the most is he was gigging in Lisbon, wasn't he? Yeah, doing a festival or something over there. And he did like numerous stories as he was doing, like baiting the Spanish, I'm guessing, just saying like, the worst thing for me is that all the negative stuff you said about Spain, I was like, whatever, like water off a duck's back. He said, yeah, Spain is England and Portugal is Scotland. I was like, fuck you, mate, okay? How dare you call Spain England, all right? Very, very different things. So I would love to have that conversation with him another time. But the act I was going to say, you said you saw Terry Alderton, who I think, again, if you're unfamiliar with his work and you don't know what he's like, and you go watch him on stage, you're like, what on earth is he doing? What's going on? And then how he absolutely smashes it. One of the people I saw early on as well, when they were doing this particular thing, was Milo McCabe. Oh, yeah. Doing Troy Hawk. Yeah. So I was, funny enough, playing Cardiff Jongleurs, and I think it might have been a Christmas gig, and it was Kane Brown. I was emceeing. It was Kane Brown opening and Milo McCabe closing. Yeah, right? It's a lineup. It's a hell of a lineup. And Cardiff Jongleurs was one of the best jongleurs. I really enjoyed it. MC'd it quite regularly. And Kane went on, had the gig of his life, smashed it as he always does. Kane Brown, check him out if you don't know him. He went off to another gig, and then Milo walked into the green room / corridor between the main room and the toilet, which is what the green room was. They had 2 chairs there set up for us, and he walked in, and he was listed in the bill as Filberto.
Oh yeah, the old character.
Are you familiar? I should mention the producer's Portuguese. Are you familiar with Filberto? Do you know about this? So Milo McCabe, his comedy character used to be a Portuguese character called Filberto. You haven't yet heard about this at all? So all I've got is the running order. I've never heard of this act. All I have is the running order, and it says Filberto. And I looked it up before the gig, and I was like, oh, it's a Portuguese guy. I was like, all right. That's all I know. Then this guy walks in, and tall, good-looking guy, dark hair, slick back. And he comes in. He's like, "Oh, hi." And I said, "Oh, Filberto." And he goes, "Oh, actually, it's Milo, and I'm not doing that character anymore." And I was like, "Character?" It didn't even. This was so early on for me. It didn't even occur to me that people did characters in comedy clubs. I knew character comedy was a thing, but I was like, "Character," and he was like, "Oh yeah, it was a character I was doing." He said, "But I'm doing a new thing now. I've been doing it for a few weeks." I was like, "All right." He goes, "Yeah, it's called Troy Hawk."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "All right." I'm thinking, this guy is fucking crazy. Like, what is he talking about? And I'm sitting there, okay. So it's thrown me that he's not Portuguese. And it's thrown me again that he's not. So his name's Milo. He's not doing this other thing that was on the bill. He's doing another name called Troy Hawk. I was like, this guy has split personality. This is going to be a disaster. The audience are drunk. It's Stag and Hen Party Central. It looks like it's going to be a brutal gig. I've been doing my best to keep them together. Kane has absolutely roofed it. Then he has to go on. And I see him getting ready. He puts his smoking jacket on. He's drawing a mustache on. He's doing his hair. He's doing all this stuff. He gets like a feather out. I'm like, this guy, this is going to be the death of all deaths in Cardiff. I can't wait to witness this. Because if there's nothing better watching than a comedian doing well, it's a comedian dying on their ass, right? And he goes up with his, and I introduced him to say, "Please welcome to the stage, Troy Hawk." And he walks on, this dandy character, Milo as Troy. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be painful. And you could tell the whole audience were like, what is that? We did not pay to see this. We paid to watch stand-up. And he walks on stage. And within about a minute and a half, he had the entire audience in the palm of his hand. I've never seen anything like it.
It's
talking about, Mr. Men to a weekend crowd who are drunk and want to talk macho shit. And he's going up there talking about the most ridiculous ideas and making them palatable through the form of this, character, this retro kind of concept. And he came off and I was like, "Man, that was incredible." I said, "That's so good. Is your other character, as good as that? Do you do?" And he said, "Oh, well," he said, "to be honest with you, I was in 2 minds to do the other character." I said, "I'm thinking of phasing it out." He said, "When I heard there was a Spanish guy emceeing this gig and I was going to rock up as a fake Portuguese guy," he said, "I thought, no, this isn't a gig to do that. It would have just been weird, wouldn't it, if I'd introduced him and then he came up." So he, but yeah, he's been doing Troy Hawk ever since. I don't think he's done Filberto since. So.
No, I don't think he has. No.
Which I don't think it's he's doing okay with Troy.
Yeah, it's worked.
I've seen Troy recently on adverts for Daz.
Yeah,
so
he does the NFL show now. They send him around different NFL stadiums talking to American fans as well. So it's ridiculous. I'd go on tour with Milo. I'm very lucky. Milo's one of my best pals, and I open for him in places, and it's incredible to watch. I mean, it's just like
he's outstandingly.
It's one of the most
sickeningly
ingeniously created characters I've ever seen. It's wonderful. Once he starts being able to write jokes, it'll go fucking stellar.
Well, he doesn't need to, does he?
Exactly.
He can just talk to people on the street.
Exactly. I know. It's so annoying.
Great, man. So. You're heading out on tour. This is the show that you worked on in Edinburgh, I'm guessing. Yeah,
largely. Yeah,
what's it called?
It's called Liquid Gold.
Liquid Gold. All right, nice.
Yeah.
And you're touring it, going around all over the UK.
Yep, absolutely everywhere. All over UK and Ireland as well.
Nice.
So it's cool, man. Like we're talking about like stuff that you always want stuff to aspire to, and. It's interesting because my wife always kind of says to me, like, if I'm kind of down in the dumps, because I'm a grumpy bastard most of the time. And she says, like, do you reckon you'll ever be happy with this? And I was like, no. But it would be bad if I was, because, like, because she's like, look at what you if you'd have said to yourself, and I'm sure you were the same when you did your first tour, because this is my second one now, and if you'd have said to yourself 5-10 years ago, soon you'll be on a tour of your own, you'd be going, that is I'll be quite happy if that happens. And then the tour comes and you go, I wish I had more.
8 dates in, you're kind of like,
I hate this now.
Sick of these words and these fucking faces looking at me every night.
Yeah, but it's such a cool thing, and genuine, like, honour and, like, privilege. And
you bringing it to Cardiff?
I am.
When are you bringing it to Cardiff?
It's going to be in February next year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
February 2026.
Yeah.
Which venue are you playing? Do you know?
I'm doing the Butcher's Arms.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, just outside of Cardiff.
Man. North Cardiff. Yeah. Is
yeah.
that Clannishan? Is that where it is? The Butcher's Arms.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's cool.
Yeah, so
look, hopefully I'll try and come along to that.
I'll tell you what, it's terrible because I've not even thought that far ahead. I'll tell you the exact date. Wait, 2 secs. I'm fairly certain it might be the 1st of March, actually.
No way. You can't. That's St. David's Day, mate. You can't be playing St. David's Day in Cardiff.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's 1st of February.
I was going to say, man, that's...
thank God. 1st of February. Definitely not the 1st of March. No.
He said, yeah, I'm doing a tour. I'm playing St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. I'm doing St. David's Day.
I'm doing all the days. 9/11 in New York. I'm doing that day. And then
I mean, you'll never forget that gig, will you? How'd it go, man? Destroyed, man. They totally leveled the place.
Fairly certain that is the worst day that's ever happened to that city.
I'm trying to think of equivalent Welsh disasters. Probably England beating them in the Millennium Stadium or something. Great, man. 1st of February. That's exciting.
Yes.
That's good, man. What's the tour about then? Is it thematic or
not really?
It's
loosely based on me. Okay, that's so contrived. Like me looking at myself as a man. Right, let's put it like that. But it's just a jumping off points for stuff.
I think
there's a lot of stuff about me taking my wee boy to the Euros.
Oh, really?
That's fun. It kind of all culminates into that kind of idea of me and him. That's the first trip we'd ever had away together, and it's the first time Scotland had been in an away tournament.
How old's your son?
My son, so he's 10 now, but he was 9 at the time.
Right.
Maybe 8. When the fuck was it? 2024?
I don't know. I clock out of the Euros as soon as Spain don't win it.
8 actually, yeah. So, but you did win that one.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a good one.
It's a great day.
There were more Scottish, Spanish fans, Spain fans than they were.
There was an amazing... I watched, because my wife has family in Portugal, and we go over to stay with them every summer, and it normally coincides with the tournament. And we were there and watching it in Villamoura, the final that night, and it was so packed. And there was we couldn't get in a bar, but the bars all had screens outside, and so many Spanish fans there, so many Portuguese fans supporting Spain, which I thought was
the rivalry is really blown out of proportion. I reckon.
Yeah,
what do you think? He's going like this to me, like I'll fucking kill you behind the camera. You can't see it.
But I reckon even if there was a hatred rivalry, I think the hatred for England is probably surpasses any other rivalry.
I think so, yeah. I fucking hope so.
Yeah. So we were watching the game, and so big TV outside, and me and my wife's uncle and my wee boy are watching it, and Spain scored, and we're going mental. And there's a group of English guys coming around the corner, and because they see us not with Spain tops on and being pale, they just assumed we were English. So they started celebrating as well. Then saw the score and just couldn't quite compute in their mind. Like, I don't understand why I don't. And then they heard their accents and were like, all right, fuck.
I've been it's when working back in my dad's bar. I remember filled with English people. One day, I was the only person working in the afternoon, and Wales were playing England.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was it might have been a qualifier.
Yeah,
we're talking decades ago. I'm the only person working. I'm the only Spaniard there. Everyone's watching the game, and they all England score, and everyone's cheering. And I'm like, whatever, I could take it. And then they all start like singing a song about sheep shaggers or whatever. So I just went and switched the TV off.
Yes.
And it was like halfway into the game. They were like, what are you doing? I was like, you can all fuck off.
Yeah.
They were like,
Good.
what?
Yeah.
And they had no idea. Like
Yeah.
my mom's Welsh, you know, and all this stuff. And I was like, no, you can all go. And they were like, what? They couldn't compute. They were like, why is this Spaniard
Exactly,
give a shit
yeah.
about us singing sheep shagger songs or whatever? And I was like, no, you can all go. They all cleared out. My dad rocked up. He's like, where is everyone? I was like, I don't know where they. Another apology due to my father. We lost a lot of money that afternoon. All right.
It'd be amazing if they couldn't understand, and then you just brought a sheep from behind the bar. This is my wife. Apologise to her right now.
You can make fun of the Welsh, but don't bring us sheep fuckers into this. Yeah, man. Well, look, really looking forward to seeing your show in Cardiff.
Thanks, man.
In February. That's going to be fun right to the start as well. I think it's a perfect time for comedy as well.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Like January blues and all that out of the way. It's just as people are ready to kind of have a laugh again.
Yeah, and they've got money.
And they've
have just
money.
been paid.
Yeah,
after
mate, that's why you
weeks
timed
and
it
weeks and
absolutely
weeks.
perfect.
Yeah.
See how the Welsh economy is doing early next year. Thanks for coming on the pod.
No,
man.
it's been an absolute pleasure.
Is there
Thanks so
anything
much
else you
for
wanna
having me.
plug?
No, if you ever want to listen to my own podcast, it's called Absolute Cuts.
It's a film.
It's a film. It's a loosely filmed podcast.
Absolutely
so-
disgusted you haven't asked me to be on there, man.
We've not had any guests yet,
Well,
but we
I could
will.
have been the first.
We will. We will.
I didn't go to film school for nothing, man. All right? That's
God, I
why-
totally forgot.
Worked in a video store. My mom owned a video store. Yeah, I could probably riff about movies.
Practically sitting next to Quentin Tarantino here.
Oh, don't say that. I don't love feet that much, all right? Thanks, mate.
Thank you, pal.
Cheers.
That was Mark Nelson. Mark is going to be touring all over the UK, so make sure you check him out on social media, see where he is performing. If he's in a comedy club or theater near you, go check it out. Guaranteed hilarity. Here's a bit of an exclusive for you. I'm going to be putting out a Christmas stand-up comedy special. It's going to be out likely on the 22nd of December for free on my YouTube channel. You just need to make sure you subscribe to that. You can find all the details for it via my mailing list. Sign up at comedylopez.com. Next week on the pod, it is another Worst Ones compilation. This is where I chat to a bunch of comedians backstage and find out what the worst gigs they've ever done and the biggest mistakes they've made on stage. This is very topical as currently all comics around the UK are performing at Christmas shows, and they are often some of the worst gigs you have ever seen. Tune in to listen to that. It's gonna be crazy fun. Catch you soon. Adios.